that's basically all about me. Does anyone have any questions on any of that before we move on?
Happy right now, thanks.
Okay, cool. Well, in that case, on to player absences, which we've we have to deal with quite a lot lately. But that's the hardest part of D&D is actually scheduling, and sometimes things will get in the way. I understand that. So we are going to set a minimum of 5 players to keep the game running. If something crazy is happening and we are missing 2 people, we might delay it. But yeah, if we down 1 person, we're going to keep going. We down 2 people, we'll probably keep going, as I said, unless it's something seriously important. But yeah, please do try and show up to the session. A lot of this is written to you guys specifically. We're not running off a module or anything. This is a homebrew world, so if you don't show up and I've written a whole bunch of stuff, then it is just a wasted time. So please try and let me know if you are going to miss a session. Just give a heads up.
That's good.
Yeah, sorry.
Sounds good.
Cool. Yeah, and then if for whatever reason we do miss a session, maybe we don't have enough players or whatever, you can feel free to like run a one shot in the interim. But I think usually we just like to take a break that week. But yeah, if you want to come and meet up and play video games or something, we totally can. But yeah, then on to your sort of narrative authority within the game. I want you guys to sort of build this world along with me. The the main town that you'll be starting in, called Braudavik, is going to be your hometown that you will return to over and over and over, and that is going to be home base for most of the campaign. I mean, you might end up on a ship and going sailing across the world, but Braudavik is home, and I'm going to get you guys to actually develop that as we go along. I know this is D&D; it's not a city builder, and you won't have to worry about any like taxes or things like that. But you will be able to actually bring resources and stuff back to Braudavik and decide what you do with them, and where you go raiding or go looking for treasure or whatever. So I would like you guys to get involved in that, as I've mentioned to some of you already. Your backstories, there will be I would like you to focus on your parents, because I'd like to figure out what their position is in the town, and how you've grown up. I'll show you a map just now, as when I send the link, and then it'll all make a lot more sense and we'll build it out together. But when we're there, I want you guys to get involved. Is that you joined us?
As
Hi.
finally.
Yeah. I'm hi. Hi.
Yeah, sorry, we did sort of start without you a little bit, but I was just
That's cool.
introducing myself, and now we're sort of getting into the campaign stuff. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think in terms of, like, I just wanted to say that the gods are a big thing in this world, that are sort of a big part of the setting. So um, if you want to play a cleric or something, this is not going to be the game to come up with your own god and stuff like that. That's pretty much set in stone. But the rest of it, yeah, is open to interpretation. If you want to add things into the world, speak with me about it, and we can totally do that. But Braudavik will be the main place that you guys get to um, have a major influence on, as a like physical location. I mean, unless you go like burning down other villages and stuff, like you'll affect those too. But yeah, there's no, you can't go off the rails because there are no rails really. You're going to lay the track, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Any questions on that one?
I have more of a lore question, but it's not important right now.
Okay. Yeah, well, we can circle back to that. Yeah, before we get into more of the actual campaign stuff, we'll just basic like D&D housekeeping in like player behavior in game and out, and my sort of expectations from that. First of all, drugs and alcohol, I will leave it up to you guys to. I know everyone likes to maybe have a drink once in a while. I'm not stopping anyone from doing any of that, but please don't come to the table intoxicated. That's no fun for everyone. And yeah, I'll leave you to know your own limits. As for obviously like distractions, just attention during the game. If we're around a table, it would be sitting on your phones or whatever, but please don't watch movies or play games or something while we're playing D&D. If I call on your name and you don't know what's going on and have to re-explain everything, that's like the people that are paying attention really lose out in those moments. But yeah, so just try and stay in the game. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, sort of disruptive conversations. Yeah, speaking about all kinds of things, all the religion, politics, porn, that kind of sports, whatever, the things that may cause arguments among people. Please keep those, or just any out of topic conversations, to before and after the session. I know it's easy to go on a tangent in the middle of a session, but we like to try and keep things in game while we're in game. During breaks and whatever, though, you're absolutely free to discuss whatever you like. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's got any like hard limits on what they're not comfortable being brought up. Feel free to share those now, but I'm just saying, just be aware that we are a bunch of essentially random strangers on the internet. Like, you don't know what other people could be, their opinions could be on things. Try not to get into arguments with each other, please. Play nice.
So Dave, there is one thing I think two questions I think actually around on track and not going there topics. The one is, do we as a group have a agreement around how do we say, hey guys, let's get back on track, or do we essentially rely on you as the DM to call us back on track? I don't know if you have a view.
Sorry.
Sorry, you can
like,
keep that.
So, I feel like everyone can just say, just like out of character thing, like, "Hey guys, I think we should probably just get back to the main shit happening."
Okay.
Just simple as.
Okay, and there is a boundary that I'd like to put on there. I know that it could be a harsh and brutal world, and in reality, it wasn't like that. But I would prefer that we don't do violence and sexual things and drugs and things that involve minors in that sense. So let's keep it sort of adults doing stuff to adults ish would be for me a more comfortable place.
Yeah, no, I think that is a good line to draw. Definitely, yeah, as much as the sagas may speak about all the raping and pillaging, there'll be none of that. You can loot and hit as many things with your axe as you like, but no sexual violence in this game. In fact, sexual content as a whole, I would prefer that everyone steer clear of. But yeah, definitely with minors and things, I will bear that in mind with yeah, look, drugs. There's probably going to be plenty of
Yep.
mushrooms going around in this game, but yeah, we will definitely keep it PG-13 when it comes to those kinds of things.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
In terms of
basically,
gore, oh sorry, I just also wanted to ask in terms of violence, how comfortable is everyone with that? Because I like a bit of action, and I think things could get quite gory in this game. But it's up to you. If you want to set those limits, set them now.
I think I'm kind of American in that gore, dismemberment, blood, violence is okay as long as there's no nipples showing, which
I
that's
think
the American ratings.
I think gore and violence is kind of to be expected in a Viking campaign.
Yeah.
I feel like in
Yeah,
terms
look.
of extent, the line lies somewhere between Doom Eternal and Saw.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that bar. That yeah, if I've crossed the line, then there's something wrong with me. To be honest, there. But yeah, I mean, those of you that have played with me before, I think you've probably seen the extent of violence. Like it's nothing too crazy, but the one other thing I wanted to say in terms of like role play, when it comes to disabilities, whether that be physical or mental, like any sort of mental illness, I ask that you please be respectful of that. And you know, if your hand gets lopped off in a game, role play into it however you like. But there is there is nothing fun about having a disability, and as much as it could make for an interesting character moment, we are not actually actors, and like unless it is something you have personal experience with, the chances of you doing it justice and are quite slim. So I'd ask that you avoid those kinds of things unless it is something directly based on what is happening in game. Like if you know, we've had it before where characters have lost a limb and had a prosthetic, but it's also a magical world. Like you can have magical solutions to these problems, but I don't want it to seem like they are it's like superpowers or something, you know, because it can go badly very quickly like that. Yeah, so anyone else got any other just lines they want to draw? Going once, going twice. Okay, moving on. So then for a more mechanical thing, unannounced dice rolls. If you guys think that there is a roll that you should be making in the moment, go ahead and make it. I assume everyone here has played a bit of D&D. As far as I know, you probably know what's going on. If there's a conversation going on between two people and you're like, I should make an insight check, don't wait for my permission. You can just roll it. But I will reserve the right to ignore it and come back to it later. So as not to interrupt the scene. But yeah, you guys know what you're going to be rolling on Foundry. A lot of things happen automatically because we've got some cool auto systems set up, and they've got animations and things which you'll get used to in time if you're not already. Is anyone here not familiar with Foundry or hasn't used Foundry before?
Not intensively. I think I've been in it for one or two sessions, so I'm probably going to be a little bit of a laggard initially.
I'm in the same boat. The only time we've used Foundry is then that one campaign Gas and I attended. Like 2 sessions.
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, well, have you got a machine that can actually run Foundry?
Yes. I'd hope so.
Okay, cool. Because yeah, we've had Foundry is more intensive than than you think sometimes. But yeah, I mean there are ways around it, but I do want to make sure that everyone can actually get in game and play, and it is running a bit smoother than it used to. But I will actually send a link in a minute so that you guys can actually join the server and see what we're seeing.
So Dave, I am curious about how the other people feel about PvP, for the want of a better word. So I roll an intimidation check to convince Gaz's character that they should be scared. I prefer the role play, but I don't, role play rather than rolling against the other players, other than stuff like
Yeah.
perception versus stealth and things like that. But where it's about interaction, I think the role play should lead to a sensible what would your character do rather than what would you do. How do the other people feel about that idea?
Yeah, roleplay first and only use dice rolls against each other if there's a sort of like stalemate.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. That's literally the next point on my list. Yeah, is dice rolls against one another and PvP. so, um, so yeah, perfect. To settle arguments, I, as I said, please, this is a game. Like, don't actually argue with each other. We're meant to be having fun here, but let your characters argue. Absolutely, if your characters have disagreement, they can fight to the death if they want. But I will say for PvP, if a fight is actually going to break out, we will put it to a vote for the whole table. I mean, let me know if you guys like this idea, but we'll put it to a vote for the whole table, to say yes or no, this PvP battle should happen, because then we have impartial, uh, judges, and then you can decide and fight it out as you like. Um, but when it comes to the dice rolls against one another for something like that, I agree with, as Gaz was just saying, that's like, if the role play, if you've come to a stalemate and your characters aren't going to, like, neither of you is willing to budge or kind of yes and to get out of the situation, then we'll go to a dice roll and let it decide it. And I do expect everyone to go with the dice roll in those kinds of situations and not take anything personally, because it is a game after all. But also, don't be a dick,
Yeah, that's fair. That's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So then the other thing is secrets. It's always cool to have a little secret story going on, but I would ask that in a similar way we kind of keep the meta knowledge of secrets open, like play it out in the open. And if there's something that is happening, like if you're not in the scene, if one person is over there hiding their stash under their bed and you're all seeing that, obviously if your characters don't know it, go and pursue that meta knowledge. But let the scenes play out. Like, we're all here to see the story unfold. And if it's something that, like, really you really want to keep from the other players, then you can discuss it with me out of game, and we can maybe figure out a way to set up a cool reveal later down the line. But if you're just keeping secrets by yourself, especially from me, it's never going to come up in the game if I don't even know what's going on.
Okay. So what you're saying is, if you don't know about it, it doesn't exist.
No, I'm just saying, like, don't expect a cool reveal,
Yeah.
like, moment to happen if you didn't tell anyone about it.
Okay. So in purpose to that, then I need to tell you about the +3 battle axe that I'm hiding under my bed.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
I'm messing with you.
that's the thing. You can discuss if it's something that, as I say, that you don't want the other players to know about. If it's something that is a, like, in character secret, you can discuss it with me out
Mhm.
of game. But when it actually comes up in game, when you go to retrieve that axe from under your bed, don't try and do that without the other players knowing. Like, do that in the session, because we're all going to see you do it, and then in that will be part of the reveal of, like, you don't have to say what it is. You can just be like, oh, okay, I go and retrieve the thing under my bed, and you can create some mystery around it, but don't try and hide it too much from everyone else, because you're all meant to be on a team. And if you're keeping secrets from each other, Radovic will burn.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, and please feel free to interrupt me at any point if you've got anything to add, but I've got quite a few things here. Just want to rattle through these. Maybe we can actually play a bit tonight. So, well, actually, that brings us to your expectations. I've been rambling enough. What are you guys looking for from this game? I know everyone's got a different idea of fun and wants different things from a D&D game, but I'd like to hear from each of you. We'll go through. Yeah, I mean everyone can take turns, but if you want to just go down the line in Discord, that's usually the easiest way. And just tell me what you are looking for from this game. Like, what is the fantasy you're here to kind of fulfill? Yeah, Abby, we'll start with you.
Okay. Sorry, I just been gone, so I just came back, completely blind. I don't really have a lot of expectations. I'm pretty neutral. I just want to have fun. I'm like, what's the word? My sound is pretty regular, you know. I just want to have fun, keep the vibes good, love a bit of drama. But yeah, I'm here to have a good time, and I'm just vibing.
Cool.
I
Yeah,
second
and I mean, what what I'm asking is really what is fun to you? Like, as you said, love a bit of drama. That, yeah, I'm sure there will be plenty of drama in this one. But
Oh,
yeah, if there's something you guys, if you're like, I want to kill an ogre, I, I mean, in this, like, I want to kill a frost giant. Tell me now, like, because those are the kinds of things that will help me build the adventure around all of you. So,
Okay. I think I'm not very good at it yet. I'm still getting, but I love RP, and I think just lots of RP is fun. Obviously I know you have to have like a balance. I'm also like, I don't know, it's fun. I'm just I'm pretty neutral because I've only played this like one D&D game a week for a little while. So I'm kind of like, I only know the Sunday game. But so I'm kind of pretty like open to everything. So if like I want, I'm kind of like that scene in Brooklyn Nine-Nine where he's like stabbing on the table, you know what I mean? I'm pretty like open to if there's anything anyone wants to try which is different and new, I'm up for it. But I'm just, I like D&D, so I think I'll probably have fun no matter
yeah,
what.
awesome.
Yeah.
The character I saw you put in the campaign already has me so excited for.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of these characters I've seen and the backstories I've gotten, I'm very excited for. So, Danny, what about you? I feel weird calling you Australia now. I'm Mordia.
Oh yeah. You know me. I just want to have fun, like new character and seeing messes with the group and fun and some RP and stuff like.
Cool. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the Viking RP list. It's going to be interesting. And we've got. I must also preface that I'm a South African. Uh, this is Viking fantasy. I know we have two actual Danes in the chat. Don't judge me if this is not historically accurate, okay? Most
Wait,
of the
there's two
stories
of
we
us?
have got most of the stories we have got are actually like written by Christians and don't make any sense anyway. So it's okay. And then Elias, sorry, I distracted ourselves.
I think, well, my expectations are pretty much the same for when I came to the Kyuga campaign, if you remember that. Just a healthy dose of RP and some exploration, a little bit of combat, just a lot of intrigue as well. So it's really all I've got.
Cool. And Hollow, what about you?
Uh, yeah. Well, my expectation for a campaign is like pretty open, like open worlds, and like at the same time serious, like RP, but at the same time we can allow silly moments. Like one of my most recent memorable D&D moments was when me and a party was playing real steel with a steel defender against a highly technological alien civilization.
Oh. After reading the story you sent, I think you're going to enjoy this one. Because I've got plans, let me tell you. I think if I remember who's who from those. Sorry, was there more about Real Steel?
Real steel? No.
I thought I cut you off for a second. Yeah. Oh God, we got a new name for you. What is it? Landers.
Yeah, it's not this campaign's name.
Oh God, there's too many. So yeah, what are you looking
Like
for in
it's
this one?
like a third campaign with you now, so I already know that I will get what I want, but essentially, well, get the backstory involved. You did it throughout the other two. No reason it won't happen now. I guess with my character, like main goal is I don't know, like become the champion of the god. So I don't have anything specific I want to kill or anything, but if there is some path I need to go on
Oh yeah,
to get there.
yeah. No, I will. I think you're gonna. This is gonna be a little bit different from the other campaigns we've run, but I think there's definitely gonna be a chance for that to earn your place in Valhalla. We missed. So you changed your name there. So um, we will go to you next in the list.
Yeah, I thought no one would know who Saranth is right now. Okay, so I think I am mostly leaning towards role playing. So my desire for combat would be that it is essentially fast and efficient and dramatic. You know how our Sunday campaign combats go. I do like that. Uh, play the moment rather than roll by the rules. So I do like fast moving combat. I do like role playing. My challenge for this campaign is twofold. I think the first one is to not play the character I always play, which is kind of like I would like to be. And the second is to be more relaxed around exploration and storytelling and less goal focused. So that I'm going to say to the party. If I get a little bit goal focused, then hey guys, let's get on with this. Feel free to call me on it. But essentially, I love the idea of joint story creation, joint storytelling, and my expectation is that this campaign stretches me away from my usual suspects role playing kind of space. I don't know if that's a sufficient answer for you, Dave.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then, last but not least, sorry I missed you earlier. Little Ghost playing Ursula. I think you're also one of our. I think we have played together before, but been on the server. I think maybe longer than me.
On my one shot,
Well,
I played.
I've been here a while. I don't remember I've been in a campaign with you before, though.
Now that I've heard your voice, I know who you are. Yeah, we have played together. Welcome.
Cool.
I've seen your name a lot, but I just wasn't sure. Yeah. So what are you looking?
Yeah. I mean, uh, as long as there's like a decent mix of combat and roleplay, I'm pretty happy. I'm just happy to be here to play D&D, really.
Awesome. Well, I think it sounds like we've got a good group of like-minded individuals. There'll be a little something for everyone. And I'm posting now in the chat the actual link to the map. You can join Forge there if you haven't already got a an account and whatnot, you might want to start setting that up now. And yeah, you should be able to join Foundry through there, which if anyone has any issues, just let me know. But I think most of you, other than maybe Hollow and Ghost, I think you should all have accounts.
I just made one a minute ago.
Cool. Well, yeah, you can jump into the server and oh, I see people coming in. Except it's asking me to customize all your dice. If anyone has any questions about Foundry, you're free to ask, but we will get through those things sort of as we go.
I'm just having some trouble logging in, so I'll be 2 minutes.
Cool, no worries. Yeah, I mean, come in your own time. For now, I'll jump back to the last couple of things. The game balance. First of all, I'm not against you guys as the players. I want to help you achieve those epic moments and have those dramatic scenes. So, but that does mean that I'm going to be putting you up against things that are going to challenge you, and that there will be definite risk of death. But I'm not against you at any point. I promise I'm keeping things as fair and balanced as possible. But if you see something that looks like it's too big to fight, that's probably an indication that the point is to run. It's up to you guys how you deal with all situations, though. But yeah, you could wander into a place where you don't stand much of a chance, but it'll be obvious. Yeah, as when it comes to rules, we generally use rules as written, but as I said, rules as intended. Really, I'm a big fan of the rule of cool, and if you want to do something that isn't on your character sheet, that's that's the way the game's meant to be played. Like, do the creative thing and figure out how to make your character sheet work towards that. But we'll try and keep the game flow going and not get too hung up on on different rules. If you do have a rules lawyer moment and you want to make a correction, please post it in the chat, because we are already on Discord, and if you post it in the chat, I'm more likely to actually see it and be able to correct myself and respond in time. Then,
Sorry, Dave, let me just check.
Yeah.
When you're saying post chat, that's the Discord chat or the VTT chat Foundry?
the VTT, yeah.
Okay.
If you're posting in the Discord chat, I will probably miss it during a game. I will say, because I've got like notes on one screen, the VTT on the other, and Discord sort of falls away. Uh, although I'm seeing your message there. What is the problem you're having, Ghost?
Keep saying invalid username or email.
I had to change my password, so it might be the same.
I mean, I just made the password and I just copy and pasted it, so. I mean, I can tell it to reset the password.
Well, yeah, try that. Okay, and then sharing the spotlight. That was another thing I wanted to say. I don't want anyone to feel like anyone's got like main character syndrome, but we are going to. All of you are the main characters. Is my point. Is everyone will have their moments, and it is about all of you together. So please don't be afraid to join in on a scene. If you want to get involved, get involved, but let everyone have their moments as well, you know. But yeah, when someone is in the spotlight, either help them out and yes and with them, or let them have their badass moment. You can judge for yourself how that will happen. Yeah, we discussed meta knowledge a bit. Min maxing is another thing. Look, if one person's min maxing, then it can throw out the balance a little bit for everyone. So I think we all need to agree on sort of what level like we want to be playing at. I'm I'm a big fan of having very powerful characters, but I will make you guys powerful by the virtue of like just like leveling and magic items and things like that. So how do you guys feel about having like where do you guys want your characters to sit? Do you like weak squishy characters, or do you guys all want a like one stat with 20 in it kind of thing?
All of the above. No, so the serious answer to that is I think if for me it's more important that I feel that my character is contributing equally or able to contribute. So you know, if we have one character that's doing everything and is good at everything, that is not happy for me. So if we all suck, that's great. If we're all awesomely powerful, that's also great. It's when there's a too wide a spread between the most powerful and the least powerful character that it starts feeling a bit awkward.
I like to try and make something cool, then try and make it as viable as I can from there.
What I like, if I can yes and on that, the thing about making something cool is that you automatically move away from min max. So maybe the min max is not a comfortable zone because then you're playing the power character. This is the most optimal way to play. You know, looking at paladins, etc.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about there's like optimizing, and then there's because I think if you're playing say a fighter and you give them a strength score of 6, like that's not actually going to be fun for you. That's not going to work within the game, even if it's a funny idea. It's not like that could actually ruin your experience. Whereas I think going on the other end of the scale and making the most broken character that you can that will kill everything ruins the fun for everyone else. In that,
Yep.
like, yeah, you're just the god among us, and the rest of us really do anything. So I would like everyone to be on the same level and try and avoid making those broken kind of characters. I think if we can all agree that we want to be powerful, like, then that's good. But there's no one make the freaking DM's nightmare characters, you know. But that said, I mean, we've had a few of those, and I think we've managed to balance them pretty well. Generally, if there's one person that's getting far too powerful, I'll try and buff up everyone else a little with maybe there's a training you can do to get something. I've got some ideas to make that work, but so you guys don't have to worry about balancing everything yourselves. We'll just roll for stats and whatnot. Some of you may have already, but yeah, just avoid the min maxing if at all possible.
I
Cool.
prefer to do point buy if that's okay.
Yeah, you can do point buy. We'll get into character creation now, but I was gonna suggest you can either use, yeah, you can use point buy or standard array. I would say those are probably going to give you on the sort of weaker side of the scale, but not necessarily. That's a pretty balanced way of doing it. Or you can roll a 3d6 and re-roll ones on Foundry now. There's also a random character roller in with the Avray thing. I'm not sure what the command is. If you want to use that on the server, I don't really care how you roll for your stats, so long as you've got stats that you are happy with.
It's not that hard to find bot command.
It's exclamation threshold.
It's
Something like
just
that.
rank. Oh,
Maybe both of them work. Should at least.
But yeah, we'll get into character creation now, and then we can go through and everyone can roll their stats. That's very strange. Maybe I can give you a different link. Yeah, maybe try go onto the actual game page, and then it'll let you.
I think it may be a Foundry bug, to be fair, because it happened to me as well earlier.
Are you? Is yours all fine now, Abby?
Yeah, I reset my password, put the same password in, and did it that way. But
I tried to reset my password, but I never got the email, even though I got the
Oh.
confirmation email for activating the account.
Is it possible that you put the email in, like the wrong email in when you set up the account, like a typo or something?
Well, since I got the email for setting up the account, I don't
no.
think so.
Maybe. Is it? Have you checked spam folders? I don't know. You probably already have, but it's just my brain.
I haven't actually.
Yeah, that just sounds like an actual account issue. Not sure what we can do about it from our side.
Yeah, nothing in the
Like,
spam
so you've
folder.
tried the reset the password, right? Sorry, I've been slightly distracted.
Yeah, I tried, but it didn't give me the email.
Ah, I see. I'm with you. Yeah.
Well, give it a minute. Maybe it will. Maybe it's just delayed a bit. While you're waiting for that, though, we'll. I think we can get into some of the character stuff. The one thing was character, the sort of party fit. This game, we are all starting as children in the same place. It is going to be the point of this setting is that you all grew up in the same town, and you will see how your lives develop from there. That goes for your first characters. If a character dies and you bring in a second one, we can get creative with their backstories then. But for now, the only real thing that you need to follow in terms of creating these characters is that you're from Browdavik and that your family came here for some reason. Other than that, you're welcome to create whatever kinds of characters you like. Your parents will sort of decide your like socials, your like sort of class standing in the town, but there's not that big a difference between the bottom and the top, you know. But if someone wants to play like the children of the Jarl, go for it. Like I want that. I want some. If everyone's got like if two of you want to play the son of a fisherman, maybe you guys are siblings. There's Those are the kinds of things that I would like to see with this character creation. But yeah, the idea is to make someone that is like in D&D an adventurer. A Viking is kind of that anyway. Someone that wants to go and explore and go on all those raids and whatever. So bear that in mind. We do also have, for those that haven't seen yet, there we go. You got on. Hey. Okay, so the other thing is, yeah, I think we're pretty much good with like player behavior. Uh, I know most of you, and none of you are murder hobos, so yeah, basically just the game now. The actual campaign. I'm hoping this is probably going to last quite a while, this campaign, but not nearly as long as the other campaign that I've been running. I think it's going to be a lot more streamlined, this one. We are going to try and go all the way to level 20, but don't worry about trying to make it there. The main plot of this game is going to be to like earn your place in Valhalla, however you see fit. That is the primary quest, and there will be plenty of opportunities and challenges along the way to do that. But it'll be up to you what you do. You will start out in a much smaller area. Those of you that can already see the maps, you will see there are 3 maps sitting on this table. The one at the back is the entirety of Mordia. Uh, the one in the middle is, you can see them zooming in on Bardvik there. But we're probably going to start out with the map on the left for the first couple of levels, and as you progress, the world will become bigger and bigger for you.
Okay,
And
so the fact that I'm seeing just a black frame with a teddy bear means something weird happening.
yes, that you should see a table with a bunch of things. Is the teddy bear the only thing you see?
I'm seeing a black space for the map, so it's like a fog of war type thing or something, maybe.
They might just not have loaded in. Is anyone else seeing the maps on the table?
I can see the maps.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe I should change my Discord settings to a lower level if I can work out a way to do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's done that. That sounds like they haven't loaded. They are. This map is actually one of the bigger ones. I was trying to make a like smaller splash screen, but putting all those maps down really slowed it. So don't worry if your Foundry's too slow at the moment. We'll fix that as time goes on, and other maps will not be so bad.
Well, let me first load, and then secondly, maybe just drop the quality down to potato or something.
Yeah, you may need to fiddle with the Foundry settings, and I should have. I don't know if the potato thing still actually works, but
It did for me at least.
yeah, try to keep your light animations on. Otherwise, it can, when I put down lights, it can really be messed up on your screen where it looks quite nice and pretty on mine. But you can drop the other things pretty low. It doesn't make that much of a difference.
Okay, Foundry settings.
Yeah, the other thing was the campaign length. I imagine. Look, I never actually know. This could take 6 months to a year, but as I said, I'm gonna try and make it more streamlined. So I'm aiming closer to the 6 month mark, maybe even less. But we'll see how things go and how everyone engages with it. But yeah, don't stress too much about being committed the entire time. But do let me know if you have got something coming up in the future that is going to mean that you have to leave the game. Just give us a heads up. But yeah, I think this is not a one shot. It'll be a full campaign.
I wanted to ask as well, just because obviously it's a bit late in the day in England, but how long do you think each game is going to last? Just because I got work obviously in the morning, so just making sure I'm on a good time thing.
Yeah, so I would like to have a hard out at midnight. So we usually play 8:30 to 12, but if you guys would like to pull that maybe back by an hour, I'm not sure the time difference, but I mean, it's 9 o'clock now.
And it's 8 o'clock here, so we're just an hour behind you, I think.
I would rather
Okay.
not pull it back.
I mean, I'm happy to. I thought it was. I thought you were saying it was the other way. Because then, yeah, I would like to go from about 8:30 to midnight.
Okay.
But does that work for everyone? So that would be 7:30 to 11 for you.
It's a little it kind of I tend to get up about 6 a.m. for work, so it's pushing a little bit, but it should be okay. I'll give it. I can try.
Yeah, that, I mean, when I say the midnight hard out that's like, yeah, I understand it is midweek. Maybe we can put it back by half an hour and start at 8 like we did today.
That would probably be ideal if we could do that. But obviously it works for everyone else.
Yeah, I think the 11:30 for me local time also works. We also get up about 5. So hard stop 11:30 midnight is Shia works for me. But also early. Happy to go earlier. I wonder if.
I am good with either.
Okay, cool. Well, then I think that'll work. So from the same meeting, same time as today, and ending 11:30. That is perfect. Then, yeah, I mean, I think the rest of the stuff, the lore is all up there on the World Anvil site. You guys can. I'll be adding bits and pieces to that as we go, but the main stuff that you need to know is probably in there now. Mainly the stuff about the gods and who they are if you're not familiar with Norse mythology. But we will be starting. You guys can start building level 1 characters. There are some classes from Svealand that we can use if you want to look into those specifically. But yeah, let me know if there's anything you really want to look into. For tonight, we'll be starting as children, so you'll be at level 0, so you don't have to worry about having the whole thing completed. But for next week, you will need to have a character made, and I will import that into Foundry. So if you could also find some art for them, that would be great. Yeah, we'll be doing milestone. So instead of doing experience, what we'll do is every time you complete a major quest and then come back to Braudavik, when you get back, that will be when you level up. So this game, I'm hoping to. I know those of us that are in the Kiga game may be used to a certain time frame. We've been playing that game for like ages, and it's only been a couple of weeks. But this game should span years. I'm hoping that we'll have a lot more like opportunity for downtime and things like that. I want to add in that you'll be able to earn feats as downtime activities, like you'll be able to train and become like a shield master or something like that, But all of that stuff will be through modules and things that we have on Foundry, and you'll be able to track it, and we can explain those when we actually get into them, because if I explain it now, we're all just going to forget. But yeah, my point is just that this game is going to span a long time in game, and you may spend a lot of time traveling from one place to another and going on these sort of expeditions, but all of that could still just happen in one session. Like we might have one session that lasts a week in game, but the time will sort of slide back and forth based on what you were doing. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it that I can think of. Yeah, we went over the hard lines are. I think we can get into actually rolling some stats and making some characters if everyone is ready to do that. If you even want to do that now, or you can spend the next week doing it and we can just come up with some concepts and actually play a bit tonight.
I kind of already made most of my characters.
Yeah, I think my D&D Beyond stats are vastly over what I'm going to get 3d6. So you should probably hang on. I'm just switching to the other computer. Let's see if it runs DTT better. Foundry.
You can use the D&D Beyond stats that you rolled, as so long as I can see the rolls that you made somewhere along the line, and I know you're not just making up numbers. It's all good. And on D&D Beyond, I can see the rolls that you make through the character sheet.
Well, I went for the point buy, but let me go see if I go
Oh
back
well,
to
yeah.
the
If
rolls
it's
of
point
the-
buy, then it's fine. It'll show. There's only so much you can do with point buy anyway.
Ah, no, okay, so they still have. Okay, you better have a look at those stats because that was a good set of rolls. And quite happy if you say we need to drop one or two of them.
Let me. Sorry, I didn't actually have D&D Beyond up yet. Yeah, but I mean, does anyone have any questions regarding any of the other stuff before we actually roll some stats?
I'm all good.
So please feel free to interrupt me at any point if I do tend to ramble, but don't feel shy about interrupting. I mean, it's Discord etiquette. I understand you're very polite, but
Guess we're all good.
ooh, okay. I see everyone's already got like names and everything. Are you all happy with those names to begin with?
Yeah.
That took quite a while trying to come up with a name I liked. Yeah.
We'll be entirely honest. I just now searched up Viking names and found one that fit.
I did it
'Cause
like
I forgot.
15 minutes before the session.
No, as in literally 2 minutes ago, because I just realized, wait a second, I didn't actually make my own character name.
Yeah, no. If you guys don't have a Viking name generator up, I'd be very surprised.
That's exactly what I did.
Okay, so who? Wait, legit Doug, is that you, Ghost? Ursula, of course, yeah.
Yes. That was one of my previous aliases, and D&D Beyond just doesn't let you change it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I wasn't sure who was actually playing that character. Cool. I did read through the stuff that you had on there. What we're going to do now is, I think, seeing as you guys have basically already got stuff rolled up, and you're only going to need your first level sheets next week, I think I'm going to show you Browdovik, and we can start figuring out where your families fit into this, because I haven't actually made the NPCs of Browdovik yet, because I wasn't sure who would be filling in what. But let's get to discussing like who is going to, who was it that's the fisherman's, is that Ursula?
No.
Who, oh no, that that was you, Hollow. Mikhail.
Fisherman?
Yeah,
Nah.
one of you has a fisherman parent. Anyway, I'm going to load up Browdovik and you can feast your eyes.
My parents are blacksmiths.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah, as I was saying, if you've got parents that are doing the same jobs, you guys might want to discuss actually being siblings. But this here is Radovic. I made this map myself, so don't judge it.
That's
Pretty cute.
nice. I like
Looks
it.
I
good.
think it looks nice.
Show off.
That is
I
cool.
searched so much. I was trying. You must see the first version. I tried to make in Photoshop, and then I was like, no, fuck it. I'm getting proper map making. Yeah. So this is the town of Braudovic in the year 512. It is, yeah, Calde Laurie the Sixth. You'll get to learn the calendar as we go along. The days of the week and whatnot are also on World Anvil, but it is, yeah. I mean, it is the beginning of winter. We have a whole town here with the main Jarl's Longhouse sort of up at the top there. And as for the rest of it, I mean, there's a fisherman's hut to the side. But as for the rest of it, you guys can pretty much decide where you guys want to live. I imagined up at the top here was maybe for the Jarl's family and like the Shield Maidens, and these two longhouses could be used as barracks. But this is your town to customize, and we're going to fill this place ourselves. So yeah, well, let's get to discussing where are you guys from? Who are you people, and where do you want to live? Who's
I think
related?
I think
Tell me your
probably I
stories.
should be in one of the smallest houses, since it would be just me and my mom.
How big is Broadway? Like, how many? What's the population? Like, is it mid-sized, small?
It's pretty small. This is also early days in Bardovic. This it will get bigger as time goes on, but at the moment it's pretty small. If you were just two people, you could also live in one of the bigger long houses. Those can house like 30 people and would have different families in them. Um, but yeah, there's whichever of these places looks appealing to you.
Yeah, what counts like as a higher status among the town, or what counts as a lower one? Because my plan was a healer mother and a boat builder father. I'm not sure where it puts my family.
Yeah, so you would probably be up uh, closer to these places over here would be sort of wealthier, although the craftsman would be down here by the market. There is a little like blacksmith's anvil out exposed to the elements, but
I was thinking maybe the bottom one, because it's like next to the river. It's a bit bigger, but
oh yeah, I mean definitely if one of them's a shipbuilder, I will say there is no actual shipyard currently there. Like he might have his own things. For all of you, if your parents are craftsmen, there's a good chance they just craft things at home. Like if they're working on the loom, it's at their house. So I think that would actually make sense to have any sort of shipbuilding things he's doing be down um in that area, and the forest next to that could be cleared for more expansion later on.
and
So
resources for the boats.
I think
yeah,
maybe I'll take the Sort White House next to the market.
I think this.
okay.
How do you ping shit? Uh,
Hold left click.
I think this sort of house would be pretty, I guess, decent for blacksmith. For blacksmith's house, and it's pretty close to Smithy as well.
Which one is Smithy?
There's a
Oh,
Smithy right down here.
there we go. Okay, so I think Weaver Taylor. I think one of these two. Then, if the other two closer to the middle river is gone, so one of these two also happy to be a little bit further away.
Where would
Yeah.
be best for a hunter? My dad's gonna be a hunter, so I don't know.
Be close to the forest. I imagine.
Yeah, so the hunter's cabin, there is a hunter's cabin up the road after that stone bridge. If you turn to the right, you go up to the hunter's cabin. So I think this place here on the left, that feels like a fisherman's hut to me. But I feel like you could probably, I mean, you could have multiple families in the same place, but up there is probably your best bet,
Okay, I'll go there.
unless you want to be here on this little in this other section of town. Although maybe I don't know. Sorry, I'm
That's okay.
I'm just thinking like they'd want to be close to the butcher as well. Like there's a hunter
Mm.
could be anywhere really.
I'll just go where there's space. I don't mind. I'll go up by these houses then. Where's the butcher? Sorry, I was like completely out.
Well, I mean the market's down there, but I think that makes
Uh-huh.
sense actually to be up there,
Yeah.
like around in one of those houses to the right, because then you're just across the bridge from the actual longhouse where, I mean, that's where the feast hall would be. So,
Okay, that's all good then.
and this I imagine is like the healer's sort of hut, healer slash local seer, but although the real seers are going to be found a little bit further out of town.
I feel like my
So yeah,
character.
oh, sorry.
I just feel like my character and his mother would just live in one of the big barracks, sort of just housing many people. This one.
Yeah.
Nothing really special about my
Okay, so
family here.
so do you guys have a text tool on as players? I'm not
Text?
Have
like,
a
is there
what?
a little pencil on
Yeah.
your menu on the left?
I don't see one.
Ah, okay, then that's probably a DM only tool. Okay, so uh, in that case, we're going to put down your family names, and just these are basically just going to be markers for me. I'll put proper ones as we go, but has everyone got actual family names?
I'm googling
Yeah, I
as
have a
well.
last name.
Yeah, I have
Yep.
last name. Yeah.
Family names aren't really a thing, though.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
but you know, that's what I mean. That's what I'm like, you're not gonna have a surname like in.
It's like a lot of
Anybody?
son of stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Svensson is son of Sven.
Yeah, so it'll be
That's
Sven's house.
Oh.
Then
Ben, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so hang on. Have we got a Sven? So because we've got a Sven here, she must change her name then. Her surname is just her mother's name, Ingvold's daughter. Literally the way that this Icelandic. Anybody in these houses up here near the longhouse, to the sort of top right, north, whatever the hell it is, that northeast side of the town over there.
and no, but I think it would be a perfect spot actually for you. That I was thinking is more like the sort of like the Jarl's family maybe, or Shield Maidens, Shieldmen, that kind of thing. Because that's
Okay,
the
so
right line. Um, sorry.
so maybe just an introduction then, if this is an appropriate time to kind of just pitch where Svenja and Ingvold fits in. Please tell me we don't have a Sven. Sven's not.
I'm not.
That's
I
okay.
don't think so.
Okay, excellent. Valdis, and I'm going to rename her back to Valdis. So her mother and father were raiders. Her father got killed in a raid that went disastrously wrong, and her mother discovered that she's pregnant when she was recovering after the raid. So they moved to, I'm going to get the name wrong, Broadville. and she's essentially been raised by her mother. So her mother has brought her raider skills in training the local shield maidens, and she's kind of an informal advisor to the Jarl and local militia leader without any formal rank. Officially, she's the town weaver and tailor, and that is Svenja's mother's backstory and father's backstory. The short version of it.
Are we going in a sort of order here, or?
No,
Well,
just like
I mean, this is a sort of open discussion because I also want to find out if anyone is like, if anyone's related, if anyone wants to be from the same family, and also if anyone is related to the actual Jarl. I haven't, as I said, I haven't put any NPCs in here yet, so we're gonna need some town leadership, and I think it would be fun if someone was actually related to them. But yeah, please share your ideas and see. This is your place to expand.
Yeah, when I get the map back, I'll tell you where my parents are from. But my father, Hammond, Hammond, I don't know how to say it with an accent. Hammond is, well, an ex-raider, now a boat builder. He left his ex down in order to raise his family peacefully. His mother, whose name I didn't even consider yet, uh, was an orphan. She was supposed to become a seer. I forgot the name of it, and she decided to abandon it to marry his father, and they moved away here. That's about it.
And what is your character's name?
Gorm. Google said it's someone who worships God. So, yeah.
And where is your house?
At
Up.
the bottom,
Oh yeah.
Gor Hammonson.
Ursula is a tiefling and her mother is half dwarvish.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm a human.
Okay, and where's Ursula living?
I was thinking in the short wide house next to the market.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm just using your characters' names. Oh God. Okay. Sorry, I'm just putting these labels down. So I've got Gorm, we've got Mikhail. Is that how you say it?
Well, I'm not entirely sure because I think it's just Miguel.
Mikhail. Okay, cool. And that, did I put that in the right place?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, and then who we still got? So I've put down Ursula, Mikhail, Gorm, and Svenja.
Suppose my character's family would actually live here because I didn't realize the ball of a shield maiden. So, and I thought my mother would have been a shield maiden.
Let me. Okay, currently Kamala's homeless. I'll fix that in a second. So sorry, what's your character's name?
Uh, surname Jordan.
You're gonna have to know how to say your own character's name. Njal? Is that
Oh, Njal, surname Norman. Njal Jordan. That's gonna be terrible to fucking say in full. Njal Jordan.
And you said you wanted to be where the
Just in like, just up here, near the sort of top side.
okay, and then Abby's character was here as well. Does your character? And yeah, Abby, you're playing Oldfield, right?
Ulfhild, yeah. She lives with her mom and her dad, and they're pretty wholesome, and they're kind of like the vibe, you know, like in How to Train Your Dragon when he like finds his wife, the dad. That's pretty much like she's like wholesome and lovely, and he's like, man, hunter. Um, and she's just kind of there. But I have drama too. Ulfhild's adopted, because I just need to put a bit of drama in there because she was abandoned, but they think, well, potentially, I don't know if this is a great idea, but just for the drama, the Jarl had an affair. So, maybe.
Ooh.
Oh my
So
god.
I
you're
know.
actually the like the
They look
Jarl's
at it.
bastard.
Yeah.
Wait, aren't you a dwarf?
Oh, wait. Is the dwarf a human? Not the dwarf. Is the dwarf a human? Is the Jarl a human? Then,
Well, no, I
what?
mean, look, if you want to just be the Jarl's child, like you
Cool.
can.
Aye.
Like maybe the Jarl knows this. I do like the idea of there being a dwarf in here. There is a lot of like there are statues in here that were probably made by dwarves, and I kind of like the idea of having a dwarf that has built that little smithy there. That is why it can be open to the elements like that. But yeah, these I'm loving all of these characters. Is there any way that you guys want to actually connect them? Because if you do want to actually be involved with the leadership, that's a great in to have the yeah. I like that the affair idea.
Well, my mother is half dwarvish, so if we were going to do something with dwarves, that could be an option. And also, my father died as we were sailing to Brodovik, so it's possible that he had remarried someone else.
Oh, maybe your families are related. Like maybe they know each other. Like your moms know each other or something. Like they are sisters and you are cousins or something.
I like that.
So someone mentioned that their father was a raider that's now retired.
Yeah, I did.
That might be so. In Svenja's backstory, I said that her mother and a few of the raiders settled in Brodovik because their tribe is no longer viable after their failed raid. So we could have that they were part of the same tribe, the parents. So there's a parental tribal connection from way back when.
Yeah, but the reason is not the same one. We can say that I maybe left earlier, like
Yeah.
before that raid happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that they all died. It's like just the tribe, the tribe of 60 or 80 people got decimated to the point that there wasn't enough people to keep the town going. Memories, whatever. Okay. But yeah, so raiders running away from their past, that seems to be a common theme. Brodovik is the the new beginnings for raiders town. We market it as such. Tired
Yeah,
of
I like
raiders? Join us in Brodovik.
I do like the idea that those sort of more distant familial connections where like you might not have they might not have come to Brodovik together, but they met there because it was like, oh, they still have some people there. There's some sense of community and they've created
Yeah.
a new one out of it. Like there's some dwarven families, there's the remnants of that tribe. I, yeah, I like that. Are you guys all keen to on those connections between you?
Uh, I have an idea. Well, my mother's backstory goes something like she was part of a raiding party and, well, one day decided she wants to try something new but was too scared to sort of discuss it with the rest of her party, so just decided she's off and regretted it and tried to find them many times but never was able, so just had to move on. It might be a big stretch and a bit unbelievable, but maybe the same could have come from the same tribe party.
Well, I think maybe instead of focusing in on the exact tribes that they came from, because not all of that is so hectically fleshed out either, we do have basically 3 kingdoms in Mordia. And I think because you guys, Braudevik is like in the middle of Alsvarter, which is sort of split in 2 as it is. But that is basically where all of you are settling now. So maybe your families came from the other kingdoms. There are the Green Lights of the east, and there is Nyanem to the west. And those, like the west, would be where you'd found, like there are mountains in the west where you could have found dwarves, unless they came all the way from Bazir, or as they call it, Muspelheim, all the way in the far east. But I think it would make sense to say that like the dwarves came from the mountains in Nyonem and have settled in Braudevik. But where would the rest of you? I feel like Christo's story feels like Green Lights of the East to me. That feels more, because the west is like cold and frigid, and in the east they've actually got a lake. Just saying something.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, the fleeing the tribe or not going back there. I don't know if the East would have. They sound like a little bit more civilized and lawful. Whether they would have raiders or whether it's just a thing. It's how you make a living. But happy with that
Everybody got
suggestion that. So happy with that suggestion that because Broadvik is in the middle, everybody that's getting away from where they get to is kind of congregating on that because it's far away from the shit that we used to live with, kind of space. Okay, so I like the East idea for another reason, actually, which is that I do want Svenja to be a little bit. She's like, so in the backstory, her mother is making enough money that she actually has the time to get some education, and that would be a continuation of the green light focus on educating children. So it would be upholding that tradition. I don't want it to be a completely illiterate barbarian. And that will make sense as she grows up and develops into what she may become. Okay.
Yeah, there's one thing I should also probably point out about this world, and that is that there are no Christians. Every freaking Viking story is actually all about the Christians that you see everywhere. But this is fantasy world. There be dragons, and there will be dragons and giants and all sorts of weird things out in the forests. But for a lot of it, you're just going to need to like. There's going to be a different take on this story as you may be used to in pop culture. Just a little warning on that.
No, well, so hang on. How can we have sacrificial clerics and druids if we don't have Christians to sacrifice? What's wrong with you?
Oh no, look, you've got plenty of other cultures, just not Christians.
Oh
You
no!
just
Okay, I'm out.
can
Okay, guys, if it's
you
fun,
can go to you can go to places that would be like as Mordia as the equivalent. Like, I'm not trying to make a representation of Scandinavia. This is just
Oh.
Viking fantasy, and I apologize if it is ever offensive. Please let me know if it is. But I mean, I think we all know what we're here for.
Yeah, right. Dungeons and Dragons is not Christian. Well, certainly not when I started playing it. And, not giving my age
Yeah,
away.
but you know,
This is very, 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 very big Viking.
It is though. I mean, that's the thing. If like, look, if you want to bring in another character that is like a regular cleric that worships other gods, good luck to you. But you can totally, you can totally do that. It's just I would like at least these first characters to be as Viking flavored as possible, and you will get inspiration for doing Vikingy things. Uh, but just understand that I do know that the Vikings are not actually a people that
It's actually the job of raider is a Vikinger.
yeah, but that is the point. Like as in D&D, you're usually playing an adventurer. In this, you're a Viking. It's basically the equivalent.
Yeah, we're raiders. Okay.
So let's. So all I was really trying to get at with the kingdom thing was if you want to say your parents came from somewhere, and that somewhere is sort of abstract, you can just pick one of the kingdoms, and we can assume it was somewhere in there, and we can pin it down later. If you ever go out that way, it might be like, oh, that's the village my mother's from. But we can just say you're either from the east or the west, or you've been here the whole damn time.
I like to imagine that you couldn't really have a settlement without a blacksmith. So it wouldn't be dumb to presume that my family's been here, like, since this settlement was established.
And who are your parents? Are they, and
They're-
what race are they? Are they human?
yeah, they're human, just human blacksmiths.
Are most of us just humans?
No.
Amazing.
We've got some Dvega. Wait, no, that's Prince. I believe in human supremacy.
Human
Oh,
finds its supremacy.
I don't need to see in the dark.
I don't.
Well, I do like the idea. Well, let me know what you think about it, about having a connection between you and the dwarven families, in that the actual equipment that is here, the forge that was built here, I sort of had it in my head that this was a gift from the dwarves because it is a magical kind of forge, but that it was a gift to Braudevik, as were the statues of Odin and Freya, which you can find. So I was thinking to have like a dwarven stonemason or a blacksmith or something would be really cool. But I think just having that connection to the fact that there are dwarves in the village, would you say
Well,
that maybe it was a gift to your family, like that to these blacksmiths of Braudevik, as like a
well,
show of good faith or something?
my mother was a half dwarven stonemason, so
Yeah, we could make that connection that we were given the smithy as a gift in the past. It would also make sense that my family looks up to figures such as Brocke and Eitri.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so we'll say that you and Ursula's family, I mean, you guys live next to each other as well. It's perfect. That you, you guys are actually sort of family friends. Like, perfect. Okay, and then have I put? Oh no, Camilla, where are you going to live?
Well, I picked the house here.
Oh, you already. Did you put that? How did you? Huh?
I can do it. Like, yes, I could do that. And do not ask why there's also one in the middle. Like, yes, I put it down there. I put it because father came from, let's just say, the east, with a daughter that decided it was a bit too cold here, and therefore left for the home of the elves. And my mother is like a hunter of traits, or gatherer. While my father was a raider who vanished under what is it called? A raid. No one knows. Dead or what happened? Just that he did.
Is your father a character I may know by any chance?
You may know him very well.
Okay, no, that's cool. I was just wondering if you're sticking with the theme.
Oh,
That's fine. So, okay, so your mother is a hunter gatherer. That makes sense to be living up there. Who else? Wasn't there someone else that had hunter parents?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my dad's a hunter. I think my mom's. I was like a Viking politician. She's that.
Oh, that makes sense. That actually makes a great connection because maybe it's like, well, my mother has been like, oh, it has been like a little hard day, and she has been out gathering, and then like, oh, can you not teach me like some of the like hunter things? Then she's a bit tired, so she asked, let me, what is it, Abby's father, like to like teach me, and that's like a good connection. How I met Abby, and now all the name of the character.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm starting to see how Ulfhild was born. The father was spending all day hunting and with that bloody gatherer woman, and she was spending all day in the Jarl's court. Okay, I'm seeing.
There's connections here. Wow.
Horizontal
Okay.
connections, it sounds like.
All right, yeah, I like that. So we've got the hunter father. I'm going to actually. Oh god damn! I've got a whole section to actually keep track of these things, but I'm gonna need. I think I'll do that over the next week because it's too much to do right this second. So we've got you living over there, the gatherer. We've got the hunter over here on the other side of the village, living next to Yorman. Remind me who Yorman? Oh yeah,
That's
that's you.
me.
And your parents again? Just
My mother's shield maiden, who, well, yeah, my mother's a shield maiden, and my father is completely fine. He just doesn't live here. He lives in the farm just a little bit away.
I'm thinking maybe Ulfhild, maybe you should actually live closer to the market there because you'd be near the other dwarf people and near the market to actually sell the hunted goods.
Yeah, this will good.
Yeah, actually, that makes sense. So we'll put you in between there, so your mother can go up to the. You're in that one there. So you got just a little way up to your mother's job, and your father can go down to the market and through. That is also an exit there on the left-hand side. That sort of leads out of the city. But if you go down there, we'll switch maps if you're actually leaving. Okay, so I think that's cool. We've got missing. Am I missing someone in this longhouse? Oh no, that was going to be Sven. Yeah. So maybe Yorman actually. Maybe you should go up there as well. If your mother's the shield maiden.
Wait, can there only be one?
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes, there can only be one. Else you have to fight in a Viking version of Highlander.
Hey, look.
And you will all lose to Sean Connery.
No,
I don't know
look,
about
a
you, but
shield maiden is essentially the elite, like uh, one of the elite soldiers. So shieldman or a shield maiden, you would have, you could have a whole army of them.
okay.
But also, yeah, I just want to see how everyone's sort of connected and where they are. And again, we've got one connection to the Jarl, but we do need to figure out the leadership of this town. So I'm happy to make a full-on NPC, but I think it would be cool to have someone that's actually involved in that house. And I feel like between Yormund and Svenja, you guys are probably the best bet for those kinds of positions. Although Ulfhild's mother is probably heavily involved as well.
So the way I'm picking up on it at the moment is Ulfield's mother is essentially the official town councillor, or one of them. Yeoman's mother is probably the head of the militia of the town as an actual trained shield maiden. Svenja's mother is a kind of an informal advisor to both of them because she has both combat experience and maybe a little bit of leadership experience. But I wrote her as not technically on the town council, but essentially one of the informal senior leaders. And she could be a formal part of the militia or a formal part or both. But I'm happy that Yorman's mother is actually the head of the militia. Ulfield's mother is the head of the town council or something like that, and Svenja's mother is a serving member in both.
That
That-
works really well, at least in my part, because my mother was the son of like adopted son of the sort of second in command, so she was exposed to a lot of leadership there. So that could work.
Yeah.
Yep. At least for me. I'm not going to speak for.
Yeah, I mean that sounded cool. I think I may have missed a few little details there. So where? Sorry, can you give me a quick
Okay, so the short
explanation of that
version is
again?
that Ulfield's mother is officially on the town council. I don't know if she's the leader or the essentially no, the Jarl is essentially the Burgermeister or the head of the town council. Ulfield's mother is officially on the town council as, I guess, the representative of the craftsmen, tradespeople, or the general population. Yeoman's mother is the head of the militia as the lead or the shield maiden in charge, general head of the militia, and Svenja's mother would serve on both of those, either formally or informally as an advisor, as an actual raider shield maiden fighter underneath Yeoman's mother, who's trained in leadership and tactics to a degree that Svenja's mother wouldn't have been. I don't know if that then means that we still need someone from the merchant side. Do everybody feel that they're represented properly by Ulfield's mother?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, It's starting to feel like we should just make Ulfhild's mother the Jarl. Like, but I like the drama.
I love the drama. This is why I plan all my characters around the drama.
That's
I
the
did
only
want.
position that I'm missing here in the town. I do love that idea though, having the head of the militia. But yeah, I mean, what about your father, Yeoman?
My father isn't really tremendously important. He's important to my character, of course, but to the town, not quite. He just grew up as to a pair of traveling merchants, became a traveling merchant himself. And one thing I wanted to just quickly ask is he is incredibly involved with giants.
Oh yes,
Would that be a
I've got a
contentious topic?
no. I actually that there's a whole sub story there that I think you're
Yeah.
really going to enjoy. Um, not too far from this place. In fact, if you were to
Yeah.
try and get from Braudavik to the capital, you would go upriver to a place called Jotun's Crossing, which is probably going to be a big location in this game, where there is a frost giant that lifts ships and carries them to the other river.
Oh
So
man.
there are frost giants and all kinds of giants in this world, but a Jotun is generally not something you want to come across. Like that,
Mm.
there are not many friendly ones. That is, frost giants are straight up from Jotunheim, which is also Stormer to the west. So there's a lot of history between Mordians and Jotuns.
Yep.
But yeah, that'll be a cool thing to do. We can definitely keep that going.
David, feels like you desperately want the Jarl to be involved. So one of the things you could consider is that Svenja's mother is actually probably on the verge of being engaged, getting married with him, or whatever the Viking equivalent is. If his wife died or left him because of the rumors of the half dwarf. So if you really want a direct connection familiarly to the Jarl, that could be the next step.
Yeah,
or-
no, look, we don't. Sorry, I'm pushing that point, but I just really want the whole like Sons of Ragnar kind of thing, you know. But no, we don't have to do that. It's just that part of the game is going to be actually like running Braudavik and like developing it yourselves. And if no
Mhm.
one's actually directly involved, so I feel like having both of your mothers working in there, and we do have Ulfilt is actually a child of the Jarl, so that may actually ham up the drama of that a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the Jarl is welcome to come and court various players' mothers because there's at least 3 of us whose fathers died in raids back. So there's a whole bunch of single mothers in the town, looking after themselves in typical Viking independence fashion.
Yeah, single Viking mothers. That's we'll see how brave I make the Jarl. But yeah,
Let's be
actually,
mad
that's cool.
about that.
Then I'll have a Jarl that can actually give you some missions and stuff. Okay, cool. I think then we're pretty good. So we've got the market. So the one thing is just where you actually want to live, Yorman. Are you happy with that house, or do you want to be closer to the market?
I'm happy with that house. It's like a good in between.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Everyone happy with where they're living and their familial connection?
Yeah, I'll assume there is a bridge here somewhere, so I'm not stuck.
Uh,
on
yeah,
this.
I will. I was thinking about that, how they would do it, but I think you would actually be able to. You would have a boat first of all. You're a boat maker, so you could literally just row across. But there's probably also.
Parkour on my way to the other side from boat to boat,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Haven't
Uh,
you played Assassin's Creed? That's how you get across the dock.
so someone said my family was connected to Mikil somehow, but I didn't actually catch how.
The It was the dwarvish connection. You said, wait, was your mother the half dwarf?
Yes.
Yeah, so the same sort of dwarvish connection. The dwarves gave this forge to Mikhail's family as the blacksmiths, and you said your mother's the stonemason, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so her people would have made the statues that are in Ludovik, and you would be like family friends with Mikhail's family, just by virtue of like they are the blacksmiths and they're using an old dwarven forge.
Okay.
Yeah, you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought someone was saying something. Okay, so I'm going to quickly make each of your little. Yeah, we're a little bit short on time still, but do you guys want to actually jump in for an hour as kids, or do you just want to let all of that sit and go into some character creation now, and we can come back next week and actually kick things off properly?
Wouldn't mind starting for just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't
I
mind.
can start now.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, then I'm going to just quickly I'm going to make your tokens. So if you want to take a 5-minute break, grab some coffee or whatever, then I will quickly make some tokens and we can jump in for a bit. But we will hard out at 11:30, as we said.
All those family connections are almost as bad as Australia's family tree. Well, not almost, but not even close. But
Yeah, no, that takes some some practice.
Actually, family tree.
Yeah, half this group doesn't even know of the.
not gonna lie, I
I
don't.
think Oldfield's parents have got drama. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
Gak is something else. Are we actually using the name Nyal, or seem reluctant?
Well, no, I just didn't know really what to say because Njal is character's like first name, so to say, and Jordan is the surname, but I didn't realize that surnames weren't really a thing. So,
Yes.
So are you going to use Yeomund as your first?
you know what? Yeah.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, that was just for the labeling of the house. I'll actually put proper labels later, but you can use the name. I just want to know what to put on your character sheet for now.
Just Jordan is fine.
All right. Hope you don't take any ganders. Just that feels like an easy Viking child to bully. Is all I can think.
I know, I'm a pretty strong kid. Fucking 17 on strength.
Oh, I didn't roll my things. I just used center right. So is it okay if I do that during the week, or is it all good?
Yeah. Don't worry about having your stats and stuff rolled now.
Nice.
You can though if you want to roll it. If you want to roll the 3d6 and re-roll ones, you can do that now in the chat. But if you can roll however you like, so long as it's on your character sheet by next week. For now, you're going to be at level 0, so I don't even know if there's a point in giving you this
Yeah,
the
I was gonna
attribute.
say we can't really use our stats because no way in hell a kid's got 17 strength.
Well, you know,
Just a really
the thing
charismatic
is also your
child.
proficiency. You don't have
And
That's true.
proficiency bonus.
you never know, like, they may be just been drugged up on some weird mushroom.
These are some strong fucking mushrooms, I'll tell you.
He's saying like my 6-year-old character is jacked up on meth.
That is totally a thing I want to steal from. I don't know if you guys have seen Vinland Saga, but it's like one of the most anime moments in that show when the guy just eats a mushroom and like hulks out completely. I was like, yes, putting that in the game for sure. Okay, you should be getting control of your characters now. I'll
Yeah, I guess
like what's it?
so. In line with the no out of character secrets, Svenja is an Aasimar. Her mother had strange dreams while she was recovering from aid. So there may have been some celestial interference in Svenja's conception, which her mother thinks might have been her father. But how I'm thinking about playing this, and I'm open to suggestions on that, is that they don't know it yet when Svenja, depending on how old the kids are now. So at some point, the reason her eyes are this kind of weird color will become clear. I haven't quite worked out how to manifest the celestial linkage for her yet, or whether she just has known it all along and everybody just knows. It's like no one's surprised. Just okay, you're weird. You know, half dwarves, yarls, etc. So. Look, I can legitimately claim I sent this to Devon before, so I'm not making this up as we go along.
No, well, actually, I think it's going to be a really interesting topic to explore because we've also got a tiefling in the group, who
God,
I
yes.
think, if I understand it, your parents are not tieflings, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the idea of this like celestial, infernal kind of heritage thing, I think it will be a very interesting thing to explore in game. There will definitely be lots to find out. I did want to also say I have fully statted the gods. Like I will be putting Odin down on the battlefield. He may be invisible, but just for my own satisfaction sometimes. And
We are going to fight the gods.
no, I'm saying like for those moments where if you're wondering if Odin is with you, like they might literally be there on the map, and like for moments when in the middle of a heated battle you suddenly see a token walk across, you know, that I've got full stats. If you do end up fighting them, I mean, good luck.
Well, I assume they're like challenge rating 25.
Oh no, a god is plus 30. So
Ah,
yeah, no, Odin is like ZR 35. I think it'll definitely fuck you up. Oh my god, my power just went out. Hold on.
so
Have no power here.
session 40, we're gonna fight Fenrir, save Ragnarok, prevent Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Easy.
And I have to reforge the chains again
Oh, shit.
for the dwarves when you need them. Where's the artificer when
I
you need
also
them?
think regarding player secrets, you can like just reserve something. You don't have to like pour out your entire plan of your secret. Just enough to sort of like let people know that yeah, you've got something going on, and they can have a good idea of generally what it is. But maybe not your end goal or something.
Okay. I was
Just
putting pressure on myself to come up with something more interesting than that as a secret.
I don't know.
I don't even have a secret, so yeah.
Yeah, don't have to have one. It could be mundane. It could be as elaborate and intricate as you want. It's always more fun for the others to think if you just leave a little bits out, some intrigue.
Well, I mean, on the other hand, you can just go into D&D Beyond, and you by now know.
Oh, see, I never look at other people's D&D Beyond characters.
You can't see other
Yeah, just
Oh.
in the campaign, you can see which class and race they are.
Ah,
What
Oh,
classes do we have?
Unfortunately, not possible to hide. Oh well.
I can hear again. Sorry, guys. My power has just gone out, and it's not supposed to. I don't know why it has.
Yeah, shit. You're not on load shedding schedule, right?
Well, the load shedding is supposed to be over, but they seem to have switched us off anyway.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
it should have ended, so it may come back on in the next few minutes. This is also something maybe worth noting is that we South Africans have got some issues with power going. Sometimes it will get in the way, but I will do my best to work around it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's gone off. It may be a different problem, but it did go off at exactly 10. And we're supposed to be off at 10, but the load shedding's supposed to end at 10. So
They
Now,
flipped
they're
the wrong
usually more
switch.
accurate with when it starts than when it ends. But, okay, that's curious. Let me check quickly.
yeah, sorry guys, we may have to call it for tonight and just come back to it next week. But if it does come back on, like now in the next 5 minutes, then we can carry on.
Cool.
Yeah, no, the app says it's suspended. So there's something weird going on there.
Yeah, sorry, just give it 5 minutes to come back, and if it's not back by 1:15 now, then we'll have to pick things up again next week. But for now, can you guys see your little child character if you go to the little skull on the menu on the right, you should be able to see a character sheet there.
5
It's
hit
an
points.
imp.
Oh yeah.
Go.
Yeah, I just see an
Click
imp
on
there.
Mordians and then
Yeah,
just
Mordian.
through the files.
Oh, I don't think I have the Mordian one.
Really?
I just see Frankie.
I haven't done this yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah.
I just see an imp. I'm not sure.
Let's
Oh yeah, I
go.
see my character now.
Oh, I see. Yes.
I don't even see the folder, guess.
Wouldn't even roll for me.
Skill issue.
Mwah.
Yeah. Just seeing an imp.
Oh,
Got
there you
it.
go.
Oh, there we go.
Is-
No,
Hell
not
yeah.
there we go.
But the wee child.
There we go. Yeah, I think you should all be able to see them now.
Ah, yes.
Okay, yeah, you can drag those onto the map. I'll change the tokens. Yeah, I'm quite impressed that my battery hasn't already died.
So how do you pop them out?
Just drag them onto the map. Don't put them
From
under the
where?
game paused circle thing.
What?
Which is where I'm stuck right now. Okay, newbie question. I've got this massive picture of Carmilla Arland. How do I make that go away?
You would never. You can never haunt you to forever haunt you.
There you
Uh,
go.
it's gone.
Yeah, we had that problem with Kate a while ago, and I've figured out how to fix it since.
Ah,
Oh, it's auto rotating. It's not meant to do that. Okay. Yeah, so don't worry. I've got little different images for you guys, and actually I think that makes you kind of massive.
Massive
Go
child.
stand next to a barrel or something. Just these giant children.
Yeah, I'm still having a hard time placing myself.
Oh, I love how rotation still applies, so it looks like you're just lying down.
Yeah, if you press R, if you hold on R, you can direct the way that your token is looking. And if you just use Shift and the arrow keys, you can also just Shift down will make you stand upright on this map.
How do I? Sorry, you just drag your. How do I add my token?
Yeah, can you not drag the
No.
name just onto the map?
No, yeah, me neither.
Okay,
Yeah, I
I'll
can't
put you down
see how
outside.
either.
So, quick question, but the answer might not be. How do these gods play with Kiga's gods?
Yeah, that is a question that I'm afraid meta knowledge will only answer. But they are linked. You will figure that out. The Iranian games are still a thing to Mordia, but the Norse gods go there as well as the Kigani gods. That's where, yeah, things will eventually lead there. But I don't want I don't want to get into that just yet because that'll be late game, late campaign.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, who still needs to be put down? Because all I can see is Viking Child over all of them.
Gorm. Gorm is not here.
Okay, Gorm, you down? Mikhail,
So,
are you down?
No.
There you are.
Nope.
Svenja, are you there?
Yep, I am.
burning.
Ulfhild, are you there?
Yeah.
You've got a token. Cool. And Ursula. Do you have a token, Ursula?
I don't think so.
Okay, there you go. And I think that's, yeah, so command is down.
There we go.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so it is not looking like my power is returning to me, and my battery's not going to last for very long. So I'm afraid we are going to have to leave this to next week, I think. I'm hoping it comes back so badly, but I am sorry about that, but I think it'll actually be better because then I can fix all these tokens and put the rest of the NPCs into the town, and we can have a proper start to the campaign. But yeah, sorry about that.
All good.
All good.
That's right.
Yeah, don't worry about it, mate.
Damn. Oh well.
It is what it is. Don't sweat it.
I mean, I was up all night placing walls for the maps. For
Yeah, it was. It was up at like 7 a.m. placing walls.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of stuff prepped, but it'll be better to do it properly. And I think it's getting a bit late now anyway. I think we'll only get halfway through the stuff I've planned now, and we can do nice time jumps and things next time. But yes, thank you very much for joining us. I'm looking forward to this campaign. I think it's going to be a fun one. I hope this was an okay session, Zero. And if you've got any other questions, please don't hesitate to let me know.
Will do. Good luck with the power, and thank you very much.
Thank you, and
Thank
see
you.
you guys
Yeah,
next week with
thanks.
sub reviews Saturday.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Good luck for your recovery.